in a modern age, we know that witch hunts are wrong. We know what happened in Salem. Some people know a little about what happened here in Connecticut. The bottom line is those hunts were wrong. Those people suffered for reasons that go beyond reasoning.
Witch hunting for other things or scapegoating is not appropriate. It's not acceptable. People need to own their own responsibility and their involvement in the things that they do in their own lives that affect their community. But finger pointing towards others and blaming others for something that that person did not do is not acceptable anymore. In my mind and in my heart, not acceptable.
I also think when we're talking about exoneration of Connecticut's witch trial victims, that it's easy to push it off and say, oh, this is something that's disconnected to our present day. It's in the past. But as a lot of psychiatrists and psychologists have talked to us today as far as trauma, there is generational trauma. So we have to think of that. We also have to think of how we witch hunt in present day. Maybe not literal witch hunts, but targeting people just for the fact that they're different or they don't fit into a precise box of what a certain group would want them to fit into. It's a statement that we just need to accept people for who they are, differences and all, and accept that those differences can actually enrich our society instead of pointing at them as other.
My only disappointment is that there are some of those first names of those women that we don't know yet, but we're in the process of finding out their true given names. Because that is very powerful. And once we get everything written that we need to get written, to have their full names in there is so important. Because who wants to be known as Anonymous Nat or Anonymous Bassett? We want to know their first name and their last names.
Yeah, we're wanting to humanize these people. It's been 375 years. It's a little easy to think of them more abstractly as just data on old records, but they are human beings.
That's right. And they existed, they lived, they have stories to tell and stories that live on through their descendants. And that is why I still believe very strongly, as I did from day one, that everybody needs to be exonerated. Their convictions need to be overturned. We need to try our best to find out who exactly was convicted and who was not convicted, even though everybody needs to have an apology at least. But those convictions that we know of, they definitely need to be overturned. And I believe they will be.